William says, all right, I did an open house for sale by owner. I met with them. Oh, I have to meet with them. And what do I go over? How do I ask for the business? All right, William, you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing phenomenal. So you did an open house for sale by owner already, yeah?
So I ran a Saturday, Sunday open house recently. Everything went well. I'm supposed to meet with them tonight at 4:30. So my question is, where do I go from here? Like, do I treat this like a listing presentation? Do I just go over what happened at the open house? How do I move from this point?
Yeah. All right. So when you got the open house opportunity, I would imagine you were following up with them for quite some time before they allowed you access to their home for a little while?
So I met them. I actually Facebook stalked them. I found out that they had a friendship with my cousin, and I put that in there to build rapport. Once I built rapport, then I sent them the thank you letter with the scratch off. She contacted me, told me she won $2, and then I asked her how things were going. And I put that in there when I was at the first appointment that I can do an open house. So then they have been on the market for like 12 days. So now, then they reached out to me to go ahead and do an open house. So that's what I did.
Got it. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this meeting is going to be essentially a recap of the open house, right? And how things went, your perspective of how they're positioned in the marketplace. And then, yeah, it needs to transition into a listing appointment. And I would assume that from the get-go, because once somebody allows you access into their home, like, you're pretty much there. I mean, I would absolutely treat this as a listing appointment. So I would bring a copy of the CMA, your net sheet, your resume. I'd go through the whole kit and caboodle, William. Yeah. And when I'm there, here's how you're going to transition it, right? So when I sit down with them up front, this is your upfront listing agreement script, essentially at the appointment. Okay. You could just say, hey, my goal, I want to walk you guys through how I did over the weekend. And let me just ask you before we get into it, William, are you guys open to potentially looking at some other options and getting this property on the market with me officially? Just ask them.
Yeah.
And see how they respond to that.
I think my biggest issue is always asking for the business. I think,
yeah,
and I'm sure that's a hard thing to train on too, because everything's situational, but I just don't know how to do it, like where it doesn't sound sleazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's going to sound sleazy. Here's the key thing. This is a huge pivotal moment in your career and everybody else's, okay? You actually sound, you come off more sleazy to a prospect if you do not ask for what you want, but they can sense you want something that you're not communicating. You actually you hurt yourself there a lot.
Okay.
If you're beating around the point and they can feel like just kind of like he's asking for something and just won't say it, you come off actually more sleazy that way.
Okay.
What people want, how like you've met with a friend and they're kind of beating around. It's like, dude, just give it to me. What's up? Just shoot me straight. Shoot. How like that shoot me straight statement, like you just want to be shot straight, right? Mm-hmm. And when people shoot you straight, you really appreciate that versus when they're kind of like dancing around of it a little bit. You're like, dude, just what's on your mind? Just tell me. That whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, this is the same thing in sales. So the more upfront you can be, the more transparent you can be with the prospect, the more trust you will build with them, not less. Okay. So even on a phone call with them, I might even call them right after this training or after this question. Maybe you can hop off and go call them and reconfirm the appointment. And on the phone call, I would ask them just like this. Okay. I would say, William, my plan is at 4:30 when we meet is to give you feedback about how the open house went. And I'm curious, just so I'm prepared, are you guys open to having a discussion about potentially getting this property officially on the market? Just like that. And you allow the prospect through respect, because you just ask them a question. You're just not pushing them to do anything. You're just asking the question. The prospect gets to decide their fate. They decide their future. But you, if you want to get the result that you want, you have to have the courage to at least ask for what you want. And in this case, we're not even asking yet. We're asking them, are they at that point or not? If they say no, fine, no big deal, right? You know how to handle that. No big deal, just curious. But William, what if they say yes? Yeah, absolutely. That's why we wanted to meet with you. You'd be like, oh, geez, you would not have been prepared. Yeah. This is how you keep losing listings, not you specifically, all of us keep losing listings to agents that are not scared. You with me?
Got it.
Yeah. And watch this. The seller needs an agent that has confidence. Could you imagine for a second if they knew you were too scared to list their home? Do you think they would list their home with you?
Hell no. Probably
Hell
not.
no. You wouldn't list your home with you.
Yeah.
So you have to have the mindset of like, okay, this person is trusting me to sell a massive asset. Like, I don't know about you, but if I'm investing with somebody or trusting them on a transaction this big, like, gosh, I hope they believe in themselves, you know?
Okay.
It's an interesting concept.